All right. I want to talk about something that I've over time been talking about and getting a whole lot of people to say, oh, team, this that you have said worked for me. And as a matter of fact, it got me from point A to point B. When I'm talking about point A to point B, I'm saying for so many people who have been really in bad situations, you get to listen to somebody talk to you about his or her experience, and with that, it resonates with your present situation, and it encourages you to take a leap from where you are. And that's the reason I keep doing one or two motivational talks once in a while, so I can help a whole lot of people who have gone through the same situation I went through in the past, to see that it's not unique to them at that particular point in time, that there is also the opportunities available for them to take a leap from where they are. And I'm speaking to you on this same basis today. And the title for today's message is basically daring to prove people wrong, daring to prove them wrong. Yes, a whole lot of times we try to say that we should not bother ourselves about what people out there think about us, or what people out there are saying about us. But then it's also important to note that while you are not to bother yourself about how people think about you, or what people believe it will be your outcome, you can silently also ignore that while you focus on what you need to focus on and get the results that can wow them, that can actually put them to shame. Because ultimately, whether we like it or not, you have haters, you have people who do not wish you well in life. And it doesn't matter whether they're close friends, it doesn't matter whether they're family members. What matters most at this point in time is that whether you like it or not, except you're dead, there are haters around you. There are haters that are actually watching and waiting for that day that the disaster can finally take you away. Now, the sad part of it is this. When you go, when you're dead, it ends the story. But what happens is these same people who are hating you while you are alive begin to feel sorry about you, about the fact that you have died. That's the funny thing about this whole thing, about haters. But then it's important to note here that as far as you're alive, you're definitely going to have a lot of people out there that don't want to see your face, that don't want to hear your voice, that continue to interpret or misinterpret whatever actions or deeds you put out there. So we have a whole lot of people that have been tied down to these challenges, bothering about this set of people and all of that. And we're saying, look, rather than worry about explaining to them, rather than worry about trying to impress them, why not prove them wrong? Prove them wrong. That's just the very best thing to do. I love Grant Cardone, one of my coaches, and he would say that the best way to fight back at your enemies is to succeed even more. And when you succeed even more, you get them off their balance, and for the foolish ones amongst them, they turn around and come to confess, or they come to begin to beg you to help them find the same footing that you have found. Now, that's by the side. Proving them wrong. I just wrote a few things, and I want to work with this. First, I want to say that between the ages of 20 and 45 today, there is so much loss of hope amongst this sets of people. A good number of them have given up about life. A good number of them are confused about the next line of action to take. A good number of them are just walking ghosts. They're just out there, just moving in the direction of the wind, not in their own conscious direction. And what happens at the end of the day is that it's either they find luck and they get out of it for a short time, or they lose their lives out of pressure or out of the fact that they cannot withstand life's situations that is bombarding them anymore, or that they go into vices between the ages of 20 and 45. You and I would agree with what you are saying today. I am not the one saying it, you are saying it. Open the moment you wake up in the morning and you open your phone, the next breaking news is, 10,000 people have lost their jobs. 180 people killed and buried last night. These monies have been stolen. This company has been defrauded. This company has defrauded this sets of people. We keep hearing a whole lot of bad breaking news on a day-to-day basis. And this alone has affected the psyche of so many people in our country today. And ages between 20 and 45 are in the deepest part of this concerns that I've mentioned. And I worry because I have been through it, and I know what I thought at some points while going through all of those challenges. And I know that a good number of people may not be able to withstand these same things that I withstood, and a good number of them have lost their life. I imagine a few years ago, or rather last year, it was last year basically, I was with someone I had lived with for some time before I moved out of the place, and we were talking in a supermarket where we met each other, and it said, the room where you left, the tenant who came in there lost the son. A boy of between 20 and 22 years old. And what did he do? He drank sniper and died. And I began to wonder, 2022, an age of that nature, I don't know his concerns. Could it be the pressure from parents? Could it be pressure from girlfriends? Could it be pressure from just the society? I really don't know. But then, after a few months later, after a few months of having this conversation with a man, we met again, and I said, can I ask you a question? And he said, go ahead. What happened? What led to the death of that young boy? And he said he had failed WAEC, he had failed JAMB, he kept failing and failing, and the father became really hostile at him and said he wasn't going to pay for some of his demands anymore. And as such, the young boy got angry and drank sniper. And I said, woof, 2022. At the age of 22 years, we have been in the university, yes, but then I think at that age I was already taking care of myself and fending for a few other persons that I saw myself as responsible for their lives. So I am wondering why a chap of that age would be denied help from the parents, and all he resorted to was to kill himself. That's where the generation we find ourselves is heading towards, and that's more dangerous for us. That's more dangerous for you. that's more dangerous for your siblings, more dangerous for your children that you are nursing today. And I'm saying that while we continue to observe these things in the very subtle manners we are observing them, there is also a better way to channel our energy so that we do not experience these things. There's no doubt these things must happen, these things will happen, because even as I speak with you today, whether I like it or not, there are those of you who will take these things seriously and begin to act on it. And there are many others that would listen to it, get charged up right now, and the next minute you're gone. So I'm saying that the ages between 20 and 45, where we find ourselves today, a whole lot of things are happening and they are not in our favor. And you don't have to be told about these things anymore. We know that the challenges of unemployment is a rising problem per second in this country. People are losing jobs every day. People are being defrauded. You hear today somebody has used another digital approach to defraud people. You know, a lot of people have gone into businesses and have failed. Not just that, people hoping that this man is well positioned and will help them tomorrow, only for them to wake up one morning and they said, oh, that man is gone, that woman is gone. They have lost hopes. Not just that, we have bad governance as far as our country is concerned. I was reading through an article yesterday and it took me into a video where two officials of the Chinese government were brought into the court and they said they committed fraud. They listed the frauds they actually committed. I think it was basically about taking bribes for contract offers. And the lady who was given the speech ended up by saying China is the only country in the world that executes fraudsters when found guilty. And I was like, woo, this can never happen in my country. And probably that may be the reason why we have poor governance that is destroying the lives of promising young men and women. But then we will continue to yell, we will continue to complain about all of this. Who is listening and who is taking action is the major problem. So while that remains a major issue and it's bedeviling ages between 20 and 45, we know that these age ranks have lost hope. They've dashed their hopes and they are living on a day-to-day basis as the wind blows. But I have this to tell you. Hoping for a better day to come will not be the solution. Praying is the usual actions people take. Oh, let us pray for our country. Let us pray for our leaders. Let us pray that one day, things change. How long are you praying? Now, what happens to those who don't pray? They begin to indulge in vices. And you start hearing the things about ritual killings, soap cutting, and all of that. Not just that, every morning you wake up and watch social media. In over 1 million posts that is posted on social media today, 90% are about complaints. It's either somebody is making a comedy about the problems people are causing. It's either somebody is insulting a governor, a president. Just complaints every day. Complain complain, complain. These are the usual actions that we see in our society today. But I'll tell you this, all of this will never get you the results. All of this will never change anything for good. So my thought, I said, I must share this with you. As an ex-banker, when I lost my job, I went through the toughest of times. I lost my accommodation. I was sleeping in this office. I had one of the rooms cleared out and I laid there every morning before my staff comes. I rush to take my bath, clean up and come sit here in this office and wait for my staff to come. And I never for once told them what had befell me. And every day they kept coming to see that, oh, he's coming too early, he doesn't sleep here and all of that. Unfortunately, I just couldn't tell them what I was going through. But this is it. I was going through the tough times at that point in time. I lost relationships, I lost money, I lost properties, I sold my own building, used the money, invested in business, I lost it at the end of the day. Now, what kept going for me was that I held on to my dreams. I held on to my vision. The fact that I have something unique in me that can actually become great in the next minute, in the next future, or in the next seconds, whatever time. But I just know there was something right inside me that was heavy, and I just couldn't let it go, not minding my age. In fact, at that point in time, I had my wife celebrated my one of my 40th birthday with me, and I kept asking myself the night before that day, was I really 40? As in, I was saying it that I had not achieved my dreams, and here I am in the ranks of 40. Oh God, how would I escape this poverty without achieving my dreams? How would I achieve my dreams? Or how would I escape this poverty situations I'm going through today? And this kept bothering me. But this is what I want to let you know, that not minding my age, what kept me going was simply the fact that I held onto my dreams. I knew that I had something very big in me, and as a matter of fact, you who probably have had one-on-one interaction with me today would probably have seen it. And I kept telling myself, for that unique thing that you have, you must continue on this path. Do not give up. And that's the point. But then, ordinarily, I would have held to just praying. And every morning, brothers speak all the tongues and command all the evil. Yes, I'm not saying that prayers are not powerful, but I'm saying that praying alone is not the answers. It is not the big names, because I can remember, and I've said it times without number, mighty people in the society today are, by one way or the other, a good number of them that I know. I've had one-on-one interactions with them. I've had one-on-one close interactions with them. But these names are not enough to save my ass at this point in time when I was going through all this mess. Not the names, not about, in fact, going back to my former banking job was the least I ever thought of, because I bowed out of that job knowing that staying there was locking down on my potentials, and I took a bow out of the system. So having the thought of going back, even though I was tempted at sometimes, having the thought of going back was nauseating. I hated it. And these were the things that held me going. Now, I have this piece of advice for you today. And I said, for you to prove them wrong, because I know there is so much of God within you. For you to prove them wrong, you need to get yourself back to the right side of thoughts. You need to begin to think rightly. You need to begin to think potentials that you've got. You begin to think the potentials that you can explore. Not giving up, as I have mentioned earlier. Not thinking you're lost and you can never redeem yourself. No. Get yourself back to the right side of thinking. And then there is also an important thing that I've been talking about all along, and this is it. Note this, that you are very exceptional, except you don't know. But I'm telling you right today that you are unique and an exceptional being. But you need to discover yourself. Then the next is for you to start all over again. Whatever the situation is, whatever the gridlocks are or the gridlocks are, just start all over again. And you can find people who can actually help you on that path. Then don't forget, always develop yourself. Always motivate yourself and develop yourself, because you are your only motivator. No matter what I say today, no matter how I tell you the stories, if you do not have that self-motivation, nothing gets to work. And pick up a service and render it. I know a lot of people would come and say, you talk about starting a business, and how do I start a business when I got no money? I wrote a book, How to Start a Business Without Money, the other time. But I'm saying this, find a service you can actually render to people and get people to start paying you for that. That's where to start from. And next, you must always learn to organize yourself. We are living in a world of so much distractions today, but you need to consciously organize yourself. Every day, how you go out there, what you do out there, how you end your day is important. Always think that when you have an organized self, your results becomes huge. And number 8, get online and begin to sell. The online platforms that we have today, especially the social media platforms, are all for free for anybody who wants to get on to start. Now, how you begin to promote your businesses would definitely require that you begin to spend money in adverts. But ordinarily, position yourself and get organically shown to your target audience for whatever services you are providing, and you can begin to live a better life again. Now, I want to close here, but I won't close without giving you a very short word of advice, and that you can't be great without a bitter story. No man, no woman born of a woman can live a good life without bitter stories to tell. So whatever you're going through today, listen to me. Free yourself up. Learn the fact that you are not alone in this. A lot of people have gone through it, and your situation can be turned around again. So free yourself up, learn from the mistakes you make, learn and keep moving. And next is choose your friends wisely. Remember, I keep saying this, that there are friends who would come into your life as parasites, as destroyers. You must open your eyes wide to learn who to choose that would be your friends. I love the fact that we're in a world where everybody is free to make his or her choices. So your choice is to find the good friends. I'm not saying you neglect everybody that comes around you, but then there are ones you can actually classify as good friends, who you share your thoughts with, who you can really get close with, who you can spend more time with, not just your spouse. And again, learn to consistently develop yourself by reading, by watching videos like this, by connecting with people who are some steps ahead of you, and listening to those who are behind you. And you will find solution to your problems at some point in time. That is how you can actually prove them wrong. And once you begin to experience all of this, ultimately keep developing yourself, keep motivating yourself, set goals, and stay focused on those goals. Again, stay strong no matter what comes your way. Now, before I go, I want to say that in case you're listening to me for the first time, my name is Tim Abel, and I am the author of the book, How to Start a Business Without Money. I'm not doing this because I just want to be famous. I'm doing this because I want to be part of your life. I want to be your friend, I want to help you, and I want you to be helpful to me as well. So I have something that we can do together. And what's that? I have opened a Facebook page, which is a group forum, where I get to teach you some inner caucus skills and strategies about how I do my own marketing. And I want you to join it. So I'm going to leave the link here. Just click onto the link and join the group where we can share thoughts. And from time to time, I get to help you in one or two areas of your business so you can continue to grow. Because ultimately, you win and I win.